Yo, Big Kish back up in here. This video is one of them ones. Shout out to Luisa. I will leave a link in the description so you can watch it on your own, okay? The link is in the description down here. Therefore, you can click on it and watch it so you ain't got to hear me say nothing. All right? Okay. Hey, listen. This is going to give me the answer to a lot as far as why do Drake always messing with women that already taken already? Why you keep doing this? We got Luisa doing a whole breakdown of what's going on. And I'm going to leave that link in the description. Remember, the link is in the description, so you don't have to hear me talk. You can go watch it on your own, okay? Yeah. Y'all know I'm like holding y'all without further ado. Let's get it.
There's some lessons that people can never learn. And in Drake's case, it's almost like self-sabotage.
It's sad.
Back when the beef between he and Kendrick was at its height, his loss wasn't something a lot of people were commiserating over. In fact, with the way that he...
Ooh, commiserating. That's a new... I never heard that. Ooh, I never heard that. Commiserating. I gotta write that down.
Behaved both online and away from the prying eyes of the public, there were plenty of people who felt like he was simply facing the consequences of his own actions.
Or he's a selfish, lying, manipulative sack of...
Ooh. Yo.
Who has made enemies for 15 years, and now we're here at the fucking boiling point. You have been behind the scenes, hitting his baby moms, sending money to baby. Yo, dog, you've been back and sending messages to this wife, talking about hey, but this mom died. Hey, all that's cool, but where my beat at? I don't give a that your mom died. Dog, this been a sack of shit behind the scenes, and because he got fans and had Lucian, everybody just get to turn a blind eye.
Now caught in the middle of a new feud, one that wouldn't be fought with bars but in the courtroom, Drake seems to be falling back into his old habits. By now, you'd think that he'd realize that dragging romantic partners or family into the mix almost always comes with consequences. However, it seems to only get worse as time progresses. It's your boy Luista, and today we're going to be taking a deep dive into Drake's weird history of targeting his ops as women, whether it's their daughters, wives, or other associates. And like Kendrick said, the rabbit hole goes deep. By now, the Toronto rapper has an extensive history of taking aim at innocent...
So he gonna break down all the women that he's been picking on that can't even defend themselves. So I'm happy Kendrick Lamar brought Serena out there to crip walk. I'm happy.
Bystanders on the sidelines of beef. So much so that people just see it as an undeniable fact by this point. And in his latest standoff with UMG, it turns out that his conduct hasn't changed, suggesting that he hasn't done any work on himself since the last time he took an L. At the minute, Drake is rebelling against a man who was previously dubbed as his daddy by Kanye, the UMG CEO Lucian Grange.
Say rich baby daddy, it's like Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucian and Universal.
Wow.
He's like, like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. My daddy. Drake has a rich baby daddy.
Despite Drake and his company, Frozen Moments LLC, suing Universal for defamation over the lyrics in Not Like Us, the label has refused to back down and fired back with a...
Hey, look, I've been hearing a lot about this Frozen Moment stuff. Your stock should be going up, bruh.
Statement that openly mocked his claims.
Not only are these claims untrue, but the notion that we would seek to harm the reputation of any artist, let alone Drake, is illogical. We have invested massively in his music, and our employees around the world...
Oh, damn, I forgot. I got a donation I want to give a shout out to. Danielle Lloyd. Danielle Lloyd, I appreciate you so much for that Cash App donation. That's the only one we got for the day, so... I was supposed to say it at the beginning of the video, but I just remind myself. My bad, y'all, for interrupting. But yeah, shout out to Danielle Lloyd.
world have worked tirelessly for many years to help him achieve historic commercial and personal financial success. Throughout his career, Drake has intentionally and successfully used UMG to distribute his music and poetry, to engage in conventionally outrageous back and forth rap battles, to express his feelings about other artists. He now seeks to weaponize the legal process to silence an artist's creative expression and to seek damages from UMG for distributing that artist's music. We have not and do not engage in defamation against any individual. At the same time, we will vigorously defend this litigation to protect our people and our reputation, as well as any artist who might directly or indirectly become a frivolous litigation target for having done nothing more than write a song.
But rather than handling it with the calculated restraint you would expect from a major corporation like UMG, they seem dead set on going to war, suggesting that Drake may have finally pushed them too far.
They seem like enough for you now, which is odd.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think that
I ain't never seen this shot where he was biting on nails, his fingernails and all that.
they're tired of the brat just
I think that he might be,
and stomping his fucking feet?
We done had them conversations and the line is drawn. Yeah. Ain't no budget no more. Yeah. Okay then, nigga, it's up. Do what you gotta do. Yeah. You know how you talk to somebody like, all right, well, that's what it is? All right, well, fuck, you do what you gotta do then.
But in typical fashion, Drizzy has noted their animosity and decided to wave another red flag in front of the UMG bull. And as always, he's made it personal by dragging someone on the sidelines into the mix. This time, it's Lucien Grange's daughter-in-law, Sophia Richie. Taken to his alternate Instagram account Plot Twist, Drake maliciously shared an image of her sporting a sweater with an OVO owl on it. To make matters worse, he wiped his entire following list, leaving only her as the one person he follows. In the wake of this move, the model and mother of one has refrained from responding because, in all likelihood, she's got better things to do than to get tangled up in these industry politics. But ultimately, she's just being used as a pawn here with.
And some of these people be having kids that are on the internet and they got to see their parents get drugged through the mud.
The target of Drake's aggression being the men in her life. And sadly, no one was the least bit surprised that he opted for this tactic or that he's naive enough to expect a positive outcome. This is why it was easy for the whole industry to churn on him. He does weird shit all the time. I'm starting to get the hint that I don't think Drake ever learned what fuck around and find out is. The reason for the disgust isn't necessarily what he's doing. After all, this is hip-hop and leverage is there to be used in battle. However, the problem is that it's a very pronounced pattern, and it's one that doesn't generally work out for him. Beginning with his feud with Meek Mill, the women in and around the rapper he's beefing with have always been wielded as a weapon by Drizzy. In Nicki's case, she and Drake had been friends for years. Having learned their craft together alongside Lil Wayne as his two leading proteges from Young Money, Drake initially seemed happy to collaborate with her man Meek Mill from Philly. After releasing Amen together the previous year, the pair reunited for Rico, and it was the line, "The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge," that initially had Meek in his feelings.
Bet I get hit with the Rico. How that verse go? Always new women gotta keep a balance. The girl of your dreams is to me probably not a challenge. Yeah. That's what Snoop Dogg was talking about. He's like, I'm talking this.
That initially had Meek in his feelings as he thought he was low-key getting sneak dissed on his own album. Afterwards, he historically unveiled that Drake had used ghostwriters in the form of Quentin Miller, which set the stage for the most notable W of Drake's battling career. But as is always the case with the Drake feud, there was collateral damage in the form of the female caught in the middle. Initially, Drake's diss tracks like Charged Up had Nicki-based bars that were intended to belittle Meek as less than his girl as soon as the bars began.
No woman ever had me starstruck, but was able to tell me to get my bars up.
This assault kept coming on back to back, featuring lines referring to Meek doing a support slot.
Oh, this dude got tweets on a concert wall. This
shows.
You love it and you gotta get a world tour. Is that a world tour or a girls tour?
Then he inferred that the whole thing wouldn't last, rhyming,
I don't wanna hear about the seven again. Not even when she tell him that they better as friends.
That's all fair in some ways if he didn't know Nicki, but by this time she was engaged to Meek, while Drake had been her friend for the better half of a decade. In the Philly rapper's case, he claimed that all the talk about Nicki being more acclaimed than him never affected their relationship or his self-worth.
I remember last year just watching people, everybody going against me about a diss track, and you know, I used to look at it like, yo, y'all really think this gonna stop me?
Right.
You think on telling me I'm going on my girlfriend's tour gonna stop me? Was that a joke?
is that Chuck? Nah, they ain't.
Because where I come from, like, you know, we come up, when you get money, a lot of guys, you end up gotta take care of girls, they ain't got nothing, they don't got no hustle into them, no hustle for themselves. You know what I'm saying? They just taking out your pocket and things like that. Was that funny? I thought that was like live for me to have a girl that like get more money than me, that do a bigger tour than me. I thought that was actually dope. Be able to wake up, go on stage with your girl, make some money, had some good loving at the end of the night. That's some live shit. I never thought that was. I was looking at that like, is that a joke where we come from? That's like live nigga shit.
In the end, the real victim in all of this was Minaj herself, who admitted, "It doesn't make me feel good. You don't ever want to choose sides between people you love. It's ridiculous. I just want it to be over." Later, after the dust settled and Drake was crowned the winner, she opened up about just how much it hurt.
It was one of the hardest parts of my career. At the time, I did love both of them. I couldn't erase the love that I had for my team, but I also couldn't speak out, and I felt so imprisoned. And when we later spoke about it, Drake said, "I wasn't worried about anything in that entire situation other than, what if Nicki takes a shot at me, then what?" You know, that would have been so painful for both of us.
As well as the fact that before things got underway and this track started,
Drake don't care. He don't think about stuff like that. He just do stuff. He don't even think. Like, it's usually something come to your mind like, nah, this would be the side effects to that. If I did this would be the after effect. So nah, you know what? I ain't gonna do it. He don't think like that. He just go, I'm gonna just go diss every damn body. Whoever feels some type of way, F him. Forget him.
Started flying, she had actively tried to prevent it.
I was behind the scenes, of course, wishing it never happened. Even prior to it happening, I tried to stop it from happening. I said, don't do that. It is what it is, you know, like, one thing I do know is that both Meek and Drake have moved on from that.
Yes, they have.
From the anger and all of this stuff.
As for her relationship with Drake, she claimed that they almost squabbled over it.
I would be lying if I said Drake and I didn't have a whole conversation about this, where I told him, man, what, I don't think, you know, because I was still in the mode of things that Meek, you know, did. And then seeing the relief that they both got from it and seeing it be so genuine, like, if you know them, you know that this has been weighing heavily on them, because it's not about who's more successful or any of that. It's just about, man, when you know that you've known someone and y'all was cool and you actually truly liked them as a person at one time, and then something small became something big, and then now you guys hate each other and you carrying that. It's something that is just, until it's dealt with, it feels horrible. Like, it just feels like it's eating away at you, you know? But no matter what you do, you gotta make sure you're not in the same building with this person. You gotta make sure that, you know, so I'm happy for them.
And while
It's a lot go into that. That's why I don't understand how 50 Cent could beef with everybody. Like, America's not big as far as, you know, where rappers be going and where they get money at. You could easily run into somebody. Or if you beefing with everybody, it's like, damn, you really gotta call to see if somebody's at the hotel at the same time as you. Oh, is this person gonna be around when I'm there? Or I ain't about to go through all that shit, man.
While she might have been happy enough to move on, it doesn't change the fact that he put her in that situation.
And seeing that right after this brawl that, you know, at the biggest party of Fashion Week, I just felt so embarrassed. Like, this is not supposed to happen.
But the damage left behind the scenario was done, and by 2017, Meek Mill and Nicki broke off their 2-year engagement. To confirm, yes, I am single. She tweeted on January 5th, "Focusing on my work and looking forward to sharing it with you guys really soon. Have a blessed new year." Then, by February 1st of that year, she posted a picture alongside Drake. But it's safe to say that, despite the occasional interaction, their relationship has never truly been the same. In fact, Nicki was one of the first to call out his hypocrisy, pointing out that he had no problem benefiting from his UMG ties long before he decided to take legal action against them. After feeling her Queen album had been undervalued and underpublicized by her label, she suggested it was due to her unwillingness to play ball, while painting Drake as someone who reaped the rewards of playing along with the industry. Spotify put Drake's face on every playlist but told me they'd have to teach me a lesson for playing my music 10 minutes early on Queen Radio. Even though they've been giving away my music for free for years, and I am one of the top Spotify artists of all time. Whether he held a grievance over this or something else entirely, Drake would wind up doing Nicki dirty again. After initially being announced for a collaboration, Minaj was reportedly cut from Before All the Dogs. The track in question, Needle, was one she had personally requested for her own project, only for it to be claimed for Drake's album and then ultimately left unused.
You know, originally this song was going to be on his album, and it's so crazy how I always wanted it for my album.
Recently, she called him out for choosing to collaborate with Lotto, one of her known rivals, instead of her, hinting that the relationship might be beyond repair.
So, Ugly Boy 1 and Ugly Boy 2, they know they forever gonna have a willing participant because
Oh yeah, he did do something with Lotto and she got mad.
our girls are so desperate for this money, you know.
Nicki held Drake down and didn't switch on him like everyone did during the Kendrick beef, just for him to collab with Lotto. And while Nicki fans are correct that she never actively rebelled against him or joined in to throw fuel on the fire, she also didn't make any attempt to defend him at the height of the Kendrick beef either. But it's not like she's been shy about calling out Dot as well, as when Lil Wayne was snubbed from the Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh yeah. Nicki Minaj defends Lil Wayne disappointment in not being chosen for a Super Bowl halftime show. This too shall pass.
She was quick to come to his defense. In the Meek beef, Drake picked up an emphatic victory, but it appears to have been at the expense of damaging his bond with Nicki. And if he's willing to throw a longtime friend into the crossfire, should it really be a surprise that he's kept using the same tactic over and over? Except from here on out, it has continued to backfire, which was especially clear when he engaged in a rap battle with Pusha T. By 2018, tensions had been bubbling between Drake and one half of the Clips duo for a while. In a lot of ways, they had always been feuding as an extension of the longtime animosity between Star Trek and Cash Money. But after a succession of subliminals, Pusha formally threw the gauntlet down on 2018's Infrared, referencing Drake's ghostwriting scandal with lines like, "It was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin," and "How can you right your wrongs when you don't even write your songs?" Without hesitation, Drake fired back
Bars!
at Pusha with standard battle bars about him not being authentic and generally whack. But just like he did with Meek, he took things a step further by dragging Pusha's fiance into the mix, rapping, "I told you keep playing with my name and I'ma let it ring on you like Virginia Williams." But what he didn't realize when he did that was that unlike the Meek scenario, Drake was playing checkers while Pusha was playing chess. Which was summed up by a user who wrote, "Drake came with rap punchlines and Pusha hit back with investigative journalism." On the story of Adidon,
he came back with investigative journalism. You are hiding a child.
Pusha let it be known that bringing his family into it in the shape of Virginia was a bad move that would have terrible consequences, rapping, "Since you name dropped my fiance, let him know who you chose as your Beyonce." With that, Pusha sought to destroy him once and for all, exposing that he had a kid with an adult star known as Sophie Brousseau and hid it from the world. In the process, he exposed not only what Drake had withheld from the public, but blew up the Adidon
Is it true?
Adidas press run that was supposed to help him bring it to the attention of the world. In the aftermath, everyone knew that Push had won and he didn't feel the slightest bit of remorse. All because Virginia's name was mentioned.
All bets are off because of that. That alone causes all bets to be off.
I agree with you.
Fair game.
All relationship stuff is on the table now because he brought up your fiance. I agree.
Yes.
For Pusha, it was truly deeper than rap, as he insisted that he was trying to start a broader conversation over his character.
If Drake taps out, would you stop Push? Would you be like, all right, I'm good?
No. Tap out. I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna bully the situation because I feel like I think it's bigger questions now, though. I really do.
Right. 100%.
They don't have to be answered to me, but I definitely feel that they're a bigger question than the things that I brought up, and I mean that he has to answer. I really feel like they need to be answered. That's really-
Hey, you gotta explain to your audience. Who is this little boy you been hiding?
We talked about the writing or whatever, the ghostwriting allegations. All right, cool. We off that. Now you get to the baby, the mimicking of the black face, right? Black face. Okay. I'm not ready to excuse that. I'm not really ready to excuse, you talking multi-millionaire talk to me and you tucking a baby. Like, I'm not with all of that.
Right.
So I don't even hang with my friends who have child support issues.
In later interviews, he noted his disdain for healthy relationships and proclaimed it all went back to his childhood.
Now I gotta dig deeper into who the person is. Now I gotta dig in and see, what are y'all like? What's your family like? Oh, your dad left you at 5. Oh, I get that. He never walked you to the bus stop. You're mad about this. Oh, like you parade your dad around in these weird suits. You parade him. It's clown-like. That's what I get. I get clown feelings from that.
Back then, even his current day defender Maul agreed that
you don't want to get in no argument with somebody who say stuff like that. I get clown from you. You're a clown. You what do? You're parading. Yeah. You clown. You're clown-like. Get away from me. Leave me.
That bringing women into it meant that anything could happen.
He said it. Pusha put it out there. Nothing is out of bounds right now.
What did Drake say about his fiance? He said her name. A wedding ring of what?
Said he was gonna make it ring. But Push probably feels like
even though wait, time out. Before y'all go any further, I've been saying for quite some time, no, niggas from a different generation, like you just speaking, you can't talk about somebody's girl.
Yeah,
because the second you talk about somebody's girl, you've triggered something.
Yeah.
You have triggered another level in beef.
Yes.
Like I'm getting on the phone, I'm looking for you. We gotta talk. Like really not doing that. So I do understand that.
Yet he's done it time and time again. After claiming the sex was average with you about Rihanna, he got retaliation from Flacco, who spit, "In they feelings over women. What, you hurt or something? I smashed before you birthed, son. Flacco hit it first, son." And when Not Like Us dropped, Drake sought to hit mustard where it hurt, following his ex-wife and mother of his 3 children on Instagram. It doesn't stop there either. When getting
he got that mustard wife? No, I didn't know that. Oh, Drake followed Mustard ex-wife after Not Like Us drop. I ain't know that. Wow, he's bugging.
On Instagram. It doesn't stop there either. When getting roasted in the comment section by some random dude on Instagram, his first line of defense was to go straight for the women in his life. "I just followed your girl because she's probably miserable and needs some excitement in her life." But while these stories are well documented, there's one instance where Drake tried to hit a rival MC where it hurts. One that only adds to the perception that his tactics are a little suspect. The tension between Mos Def and Drake is a bit unusual. In many ways, it started with Drake himself. After Complex reviewed his poetry book, he took to Instagram to fire back at the reviewer, writing, "Can you do an article where the baddest Instagram girls in the world review my poetry book? Not the head of the Mos Def fan club. Thanks." Not long after, Mos, now known as Yassine Bey, was asked about his thoughts on Drake. And the legendary conscious rapper behind Black Star with Talib Kweli and the classic Black on Both Sides didn't hold back.
Like, is Drake hip hop? I know.
Drake is
we're here
pop.
for truth. We're here for
Drake
truth.
is.
It's like the Target music.
Drake is pop to me.
Right, that's fair. In the sense that it's charting like pop music, popular music.
In the sense, like, if I was in Target in Houston and I heard a Drake song, so it feels like a lot of his music is compatible with shopping, or it's shopping with an edge in certain instances, or.
Fair. I like Drake's music, but I understand exactly what you're saying.
Of course, I mean,
it's commercial, entertaining, fun, good,
it's
formulaic music.
It's likable.
Likable music, yeah.
It's likable.
As always, Drake took this personally, even if most of his criticism was purely his perspective on music. Soon, he took to Instagram, referring to the legendary spitter as a bohemian bucket, which is slang for crackhead. Now, thankfully for Drake, Mos is a humble and mature man. So, rather than getting in his feelings, he actually explained what was transpiring.
Drake, if you would like to speak to me directly, you can at any point. I reached out to Chappelle, asked him to reach out to you.
Nah, Drake gonna come try to speak to your daughter. Damn. Let me see something. I think that's what he did too.
A woman in his life. Except this time, he picked his daughter Layla, who was born 2 months after Drake had begun his rap career with room for improvement. And yes, you're not the only one who thinks this was weird. As one user put it, Mos Def said Drake wasn't hip-hop, and Drake's response to that was to follow his freshly 18-year-old daughter. Naturally, people were both horrified and baffled, questioning how anyone would think this is a good idea. To many, it felt like yet another glimpse into Drake's warped mindset. Does he have no self-awareness, or does he just not give a fuck? When the #1 record in the world is calling you a PDF, you probably shouldn't be following.
Yeah, this is wild. I encourage y'all to go watch it on your own. I'm gonna leave a link in the description so you can watch it unfiltered and uninterrupted, because you know I like to talk. The link to the video is going to be in the description of this video. So you go down and you click on it, and then you can watch it without me. Okay? Big Kish signing out. I'm going, y'all.